Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, I'm going back to Old Nation. Boxer is a 7.2% New England IPA from Old Nation Brewing in Williamston, Michigan. So Boxer is going to be the second New England IPA from Old Nation that I reviewed, the first being M43, which I thought was phenomenal, and you can find that review linked right up over here. It's also another of their New Orthodox IPA series, which basically means that it's their spin on an old tried and true style, the IPA. I think it's going to be hard for me not to draw comparisons to M43 just because I was blown away by it. I was also able to try Old Nation's more traditional IPA, Greenstone, and I was really impressed with that one and how smooth it was. To be honest, everything so far I've had from Old Nation's just kind of blown me away. So hopefully I kind of haven't overhyped myself for Boxer because, the other two were just so good. I don't know how this one could not be good. So some of the main differences between the two of these is that M43 is a 6.8%, and this Boxer is a 7%. M43 is 65 IBU, Boxer is 60, and the big difference between this is the malts for M43 are Pils, wheat, and oat. For Boxer, it's Pils, Vienna, and Munich malts, wheat, and oat. Wow, more in this one. And the boil hops for M43 are Calypso, Amarillo, and Citra. The boil hops for Boxer are Equinox and Mosaic. The dry hop for M43 are Citra, Amarillo, and Simcoe. And the dry hop for Boxer is Mosaic, Citra, and Amarillo. I am admittedly not the best person to ask on what all the different variations of those hops are. I have a basic understanding of how boil hops and dry hopping beer kind of makes it change a little bit, but I'm going to be honest with you, and I try to be as honest as possible, as often as possible. I couldn't tell you what the different kind of hop flavoring or characteristics are. I just know if I like it or not. Again, if it leans towards the piney, I'm generally not really into it. But so I'm going to set M43 aside because I'm not going to open this on this video. But I am going to open up Boxer, and we'll see how this goes. So let's give it a rip. Okay, this one smells a little bit more citrusy, piney up front in the hops department. I can smell it, I like to kind of smell it in the can first and then kind of see what I think after I pour it. I'm expecting this to be pretty hazy, a little juicy. I like to use that term even though I thought it was like literally juice. And it kind of is. M43 is really sweet, so let's see how this one is. I kind of had a little bit more of an aggressive pour, so I'm getting quite a big head on this, but I can smell. It kind of has that same kind of fruity, tropical kind of smell, maybe a little bit of pineapple, a little bit of mango. This, I can also smell kind of the citrusy, the pininess of the hops. That is super thick. That's hazy, which is nice. I'm growing to really like and enjoy hazy beer, which for the longest time I'm like, oh, it's got to be clear for it to be good because the brewers, they work so long and blah, blah, blah. That's a characteristic of a New England IPA. It's supposed to be hazy. I'm talking like I'm an expert. I just tried my first real good New England IPA like a few weeks ago, and I'm all of a sudden an expert on it. But yeah, it's got kind of a fruity, citrusy, pineapple, mango kind of smell up front. I can smell some kind of pininess to it. Let's taste this as the head kind of dies down a little bit. Okay, this is less fruity and tropical than M43 was, but it's really refreshing. It's a little piney. The pininess kind of sits around a little bit more on on the back of my tongue, the aftertaste is a little bit more piney. The mouthfeel is nice. It's not too thin. It's not super thick. I thought M43 felt kind of thick, especially compared to this. This is good. So this is, I feel like M43 is more of a, it's more of a real big change of pace from what you're used to it at with an IPA. It's fruitier. I feel like I could just toss those back all day. I mean, they're so good. This seems like it's a little bit closer to, it's in between M43's really juiciness, sweetness up front, and a traditional kind of West Coast IPA that's usually a little bit hoppier, like piney hops. And this sits like right in the middle. So it's not quite super fruity, and it's not quite super hoppy. It kind of mixes those two styles up, and it's a good change of pace. I mean, again, I am not disappointed by Old Nation, and the more I drink this, the more I want to go to their tap room and just check it out, because I can only imagine what their other stuff tastes like. I still have German Hobo that I really want to try, and that's their collaboration with Dark Horse. So that's a malt liquor. Malt liquor has its own kind of connotations and maybe stereotypes. People think like, oh, malt liquor, it's going to taste like, OE or Camo 40 ounce, or, I mean, my old malt liquor go-to was Mickey's. So I'm really interested to try it, but this is good. I'm glad I have more of these in my fridge, because I might drink a few more after this. So yeah, wow. I don't think at this point Old Nation to me can do no wrong. So this is Boxer from Old Nation. And just kind of a heads up, Travis Fritz is the head brewer at Old Nation, and he's going to be at Hopcat Detroit on, I believe, July 18th. And he has a 6-beer kind of guided tasting going on there, featuring 3 of Old Nation's new school styles and 3 of what they consider to be old school styles. So if you're interested in kind of checking that out, I think tickets may still be available. They're like $11 or less. So I mean, it's kind of cool. You get to kind of maybe rub elbows with this guy and kind of maybe you can pick his brain a little bit. Again, I'm super impressed, and I kind of feel like almost in awe of Old Nation at this point. So what are some of your favorite Michigan, New England IPAs? I know that a lot of smaller breweries are kind of putting them out. So I'm really curious to see like which ones you guys like, which ones you've had, even if they're bottled ones that you've liked, or maybe you got a crowler at a brewery that's local to you. Let me know in the comments below. I'm super interested in checking everything out at this point, because I feel like, again, I'm like way behind the wave, behind the big crest of all this stuff. It's kind of crashing on us right now, and I kind of wish I would have started drinking them earlier. So anyways, while you're down there leaving a comment, why don't you hit that like button? And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Makes me feel good, makes me feel like I'm helping you guys out. And I hope this is kind of like, I'm not a newbie by any means, but a lot of this stuff, I haven't really gotten that deep into this. Like I said, I don't really know all the different hop varieties and how they change the flavoring or the taste of beer. So I'm kind of learning this stuff along with you guys, and hopefully you're watching some of this stuff and I can help you guys understand a little bit better on what these different beer styles are, and maybe why you might like them and why you might not. Yeah, so subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. You can get more stuff like this. I usually post about twice a week. Also, you can find below that subscribe button in the comments, you can find in the video description, I guess that's above the comments, you can find links to my Instagram, where I've been posting my beer hauls and some of my non-YouTube beer activity. You can also find a link to my Facebook page, where I post some of my sneak peeks, some little video stuff here and there. I plan on posting some kind of maybe community events. We can get together at breweries and kind of, drink, and I can meet you guys. You can meet me. We can talk and, get to know each other a little bit better. And also down there's a link to my blog at drafttherapy.com, where I post written brewery reviews from breweries all over Michigan. I do have one from Florida, and I do plan on doing some out-of-state ones, but I mean, it's primarily Michigan at this point, so hopefully that's just interesting to you, and give it a look. So with that, thanks for stopping by, and always thanks for watching this video and my other videos. And remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries, and until next time, treat yourself to a little draft therapy. What can it hurt? Thanks for watching. Cheers.